tell you a bit more about the one topic of the investment opportunity. This direction learned. Hello? Yes. So, the whole topic of longevity is exciting. We learned about that. We also heard that there is a big investment opportunity. And since we are at an investor lunch, I think the next 4 or 5 minutes, I want to give you a bit of an insight on how we tackle it. And why am I maybe a person who can talk about that? Because what I really like to do, or to be, is at the forefront of innovation. Yeah? So in 2008 and 9, I started looking into climate change. That was before people even knew what ESG is. And I built a company called Suzy, which today manages more than 2 billion euros in clean infrastructure. And then in 2016 and 17, we started to look at blockchain, cryptocurrencies. We built Crypto Finance Group, which we sold successfully in 2021 to Deutsche Börse Group. And you know, in 2020, with the lockdown and so on, I said, hey, this topic of longevity is really exciting. I looked a bit at the market as well, and you know, as we have heard it before, the question was, who wants to be old and die? Yeah? Especially if you have an option of staying young with good health. And when you look at that, UBS did that basically. They asked their 60-plus-year-old clients, affluent people, how much of your total wealth, including all the real estate, everything you have, would you give away for an additional 10-year guaranteed years of good health? And what we see with those who are really affluent, 50 million plus, they would give away half of their fortune. And when you think it through, it makes a lot of sense, because why would you like to stay on a 100-meter long yacht if you're sick? I think you're better off on a 50-meter yacht if you're healthy. Yeah? So this market is really, really big. What we did then in 2020 during the lockdown, we had all the time of the world, we started calling up professors, from Aubrey de Grey to near Barcelona, David Sinclair, and so on. And we started asking them, so what is happening in longevity? You know? I was reading, of course, many books, you know, the lifespan from David Sinclair and so on. And what came out was there is a plethora of topics coming up. Yeah? And what we did is we said, well, you know, you can group it a little bit. You can look at what is the target group of a treatment or you know, a potential product or service. On the other side, you can look at biotech exposure. What do I mean with biotech exposure? Biotech means you basically have a molecule and you want to bring it to an FDA-approved medicament that can take 10 to 15 years. It often takes much more than 100 million, and it's very binary. We have heard it before. 1 in 14 makes it. So it's a bit of a risky investment approach. There is some topics which are there, some are less. And now, what we also did is we said there is longevity promotion and longevity consumption. That's what we at Maximon have defined. Longevity promotion, we understand everything that you can do today in order to stay young and healthy. From healthy diet to stem cells to enough sport and supplements. On the other side, we have longevity consumption. And longevity consumption, I think, is overseen a bit in the market. Because what we have to also be aware of, if we are successful with longevity now, that means we suddenly have a longer lifespan in good health, meaning that you are not old when you are 70. And the question is a bit, what do we do with these people who are, let's say, between 60 and 90 but in good health? They don't want to go on cruise ships every day. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely nice, but you need to be socially integrated. You need to have a purpose. And I believe that this is an investment field which is not really valued as high as it should be. We believe that there is a lot of things we can do, from lifelong learning to senior dating to new forms of co-living, and so that's also something we want to look at. We grouped it a bit. We said there is the moonshots, and there is the lower hanging fruits. We looked at the financing needs. The moonshots have a very high financing needs, as I said, in the hundreds, and it also takes much longer to get approved. You need feedback from the market until you know that a moonshot really works. So the lower hanging fruits, you know, that's basically from drug repurposing to lab capacity, IV therapies, even cosmetics, microbiome, and so on. There you relatively fast can bring a product to the market, you get customer feedback, and you can adjust something. What we also learned in all those calls we did in 2020 is a lot of these scientists, they came up with amazing results, they published it in 8 journals, and then nothing. They have published it. Next topic. Yeah? And what I learned a bit in these research calls and discussions we had was many scientists simply don't know how to build a company out of their study results. Maybe some of them want, but even more, I think we met a lot of people who said, well, I would love to, but I don't have the money. Okay, that's one reason, but more importantly, I don't know how. How do I build a company? What needs to be done next? How do I get a team? All my friends are bioscience scientists. Yeah? Where do I get my head of marketing from? And that is exactly when we said, you know what? We don't build a venture capital fund. What we build is a venture studio or incubator, whatever you want to call it. And what is the difference? We help scientists building companies. We become co-founders. We bring money, yes, but more important than that, we really work on the same side of the bench and build companies together. That's Maximon. So Maximon is a venture studio incubator, and I should also mention we do have a fund, so you can invest alongside us. We call it the co-investment fund for that reason. You do this together with us. We have invested also the first 10 million, so we have quite a bit of skin in the game in what we do here. Now, what do we do? As I mentioned, financing is the one thing. We bring up to 10 million per startup. So from pre-seed, so really from the foundation up to a Series A, we accompany a company with significant means. And why do we do that? We don't want our founders to have to run around for fundraising and roadshows every second day in their week, basically. And that is really what you have to do. I have been there myself. When you build a company at the beginning, 50% is gone for roadshows and fundraising. So they get it from us if they reach their milestones, however. More importantly, team building, as I mentioned it before. So I come to that example, but if we have a founder who is scientist, then I might become head of marketing. Elizabeth will be chief science officer, and Mark will take care that the whole show with sourcing and COO functions will work. We don't do this forever. We do this as temporary co-founders for up to 12 months, but that allows us basically to find the right co-founders. And again, as a startup investor, I can tell you the worst thing that can happen is that your team is not built in the right way. That's the biggest risk for a startup company. If the team fails, the company is at risk. A great team can be successful with an average idea. An average team will never be successful with a great idea. So it's our job to help building that team, and if needed also to exchange people. And again there, if we have to exchange somebody, we can step in. We are founders ourselves. We don't just look at it and say, ooh, doesn't go so well. No, then we go in, and trust me, with a startup there is always something that doesn't go so well. And that's where we need to have the capacity to come in. Now, we have ordered the whole thing a little bit. You see a bit our focus now, so we limit our biotech exposure. We don't want to go for the moonshots, which only give a market feedback in 10 years. We want to have I would say a commercial feedback early on, so that we also can adjust if needed. We do both longevity promotion and longevity consumption. And we don't see ourselves in the field of healing, because as we have heard now in the speeches before, if we are successful with longevity, we don't need to go into cancer healing or anything. We will just be able to reduce the chance of getting cancer. So that's our playing field, what we have. When we look a bit closer then at opportunities, we don't want to go to the field which are very competitive. Give you an example. I mean, probiotics, yes, huge, big market, very exciting. But Danone is there, Nestle is there, $500 are there. And then the question is, do we really need to build a startup in that field? Or do we better go to menopause? Menopause is a big topic. 50% of the global population will experience menopause. We have researched it. Science knows quite a lot of what you can do in order to limit the effects of menopause. Also in general, how can women basically improve their own longevity? There is a lot to be done, but what we have seen is it hasn't arrived at the end consumer yet. And so we decided to build a platform there called Frida. Not very competitive, huge market, fast growing. Another company we have built is Biolytica. We have Karen here for Biolytica today as well, and Arndt. Where is it? There. That's a company which helps us basically going for personalized prevention. It's a data company. Personalized prevention works only if we have the data And for the first time now, we are able to integrate all the data. We call this multi-omics, in order to be able to really allow everybody to get the best for longevity done. We have Mana. Mana is the senior co-living. So here we are on the side of this longevity consumption. What we do is we build senior co-livings for people all around Europe where they can live together, yet with privacy. It's not assisted care, it's for active seniors, with a daily active program where everybody also has to contribute. The first one opens in Ticino, that's the Florida of Switzerland. We already now speak about exclusivity, one in Germany, one in Stockholm, one closer to Zurich. So this is a huge market. We have done surveys. The demand is very, very big, and the good thing is people who want to move there are normally relatively affluent. There's a lot of affluent seniors who don't want to live alone in a big house. Ayun is our clinic, opening in Zurich. That's a longevity walk-in clinic. Also here, we have somebody, François, over there. And so this is basically the answer to La Prairie and Lanzerhof, which we really like a lot, but there you have to stay 1 week and you have to spend a lot of money. With us, basically, you come maybe every week or at least every month, but you only stay for 2 or 3 hours, and it's a more moderate price. And you get all the treatments from hyperbaric chamber, cold plunges and sauna, to cryo chamber, personalized infusions, and so on. So that's the next step in personalized prevention. You just need to go there and do it. Avea. Now, Avea, you have heard of before. You have seen Sophie here as well. Pascal is also here. I would quickly like to go into this example. So how did it work with Avea? That was our first company. So we had Sophie coming to us. Sophie being a great scientist, nutrition scientist from ETH, with some years in the industry, said, hey guys, I want to build a longevity supplement company. I need to do science-based supplements. I think we should do that in Switzerland. What we said is, cool, let's look at this. And we didn't found the company next day. We said for the next 6 months, we do a validation. We want to understand everything of the supplement market. We want to get to know Sophie as well. And so what we found is Sophie is a great entrepreneur. The topic is really relevant, the timing is right, and yes, Switzerland is a good place to start production because the Swissness as a brand still counts a lot. And so what we did is, we said, let's build the company. But Sophie said, okay, I need a team. I said, yes, you do need a team. Where is it? Well, it's not yet there. So in fact, I became a temporary head of marketing, and Caroline became a temporary head of production. And our HR team around Ildiko, she works with 3 people in the talent search from us, she found them basically Teresa and Pascal. Teresa was replacing me and Pascal was replacing Caroline. And then we had our founding team together, and what we can say is they're very successful. So this company is for preparing for Series A as we talk, and we talk about the valuation of between 40 and 50 million for a company which is a bit more than 2 years old. We have now annual recurring revenues of 7 million. That is very, very successful. All the parameters are great, the margins are good, LTV over CAC is good. We grow, we are in China already, so what we do seems actually to work. We are now at 800k monthly turnover in December. This is growing. That means this year, 2024, we definitely will be much above 10 million annual turnover. We are very, very happy and look forward to the Series A. And that is our job, maybe not totally done, but we are 90% through and we become more of a strategic advisor then and shareholder. But at the beginning, we really were the co-founders in building this company. How does it work? The team of Avea got 50% of the company, 25% gets our fund. That fund is still open, so if you want to invest, it's now a good time, because as soon as we do the Series A with Avea, we will increase the NAV of the fund. So now you still can get in at nominal. And then finally, Maximon for the sweat equity also gets 25%. We don't take money out of our startups, we only get shares. That means we have a very good alignment of interest. We are all shareholders. We want to increase the value of those shares over time, and when we exit, we all exit together. And as I have mentioned, we are one of the biggest investors in the fund with our own 10 million as well. So there is a lot of skin in the game. You can, as I said, invest in that fund still. We also now have a so-called AMC. That is basically a feeder fund for smaller tickets. The fund is open starting at 500k. With the AMC, you basically can get in at, I think, 10,000 mark, if I'm not mistaken. We work together with a multi-family office there, which did that for their own customers. So you still have access to do that, and if you're interested, talk to Mark. Jörg, myself, Elizabeth, after that at the networking. Thank you very much, and it would be great if you would join our journey.
Yeah, I think there's not much to add from my side. I mean, just maybe a short introduction to the conference we do in Gstaad. It's literally the same, but for 3 days. So we have a bit more time to connect and learn. And if you're interested, please scan the barcode. And that's already it from our side. It's a huge pleasure to host you here. I think we will have some more time at the reception now. And as I said, as long as we educate you and bring more capital in the space of longevity, our mission is accomplished. So thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.